Is your pee thing in there?
You ever been on a boat and you're like going back and forth and you're like,
No, can we not talk about that at 6:30 in the morning?
Or you're in a car and you're in the back seat and you're like,
Okay, what are we doing?
back and forth and just get sick of it.
Okay, thank you.
Let's talk about that.
5 minutes with Frankie. 5 minutes with him to talk about the
Look, cool view.
Yeah.
Good morning, beautiful people. It is Thursday. Thursday. What's up?
Well, oh, wow.
So, when we're asking God for something, do we want to be like a car who you get car sick because you're going back and forth, or on the sea and this waves just keep going back and forth and back and forth? You just get sick of it. You just like, your mind doesn't want to make up its mind. Okay? You're doubting. You're all over the place. You're saying, well, if I do this, well, if I do that, well, if I do that, and you just don't make any decision at all. Like you're right in the middle. Like those who don't pick a side usually have pick a side because the other side wins. So when you're in the middle, when you're doubting, when you're swaying back and forth, you're gonna get nothing. Like literally nothing. Because you haven't picked a side. You haven't done anything. You're just sitting there going, you know? So, in James chapter 1, verse 6 through 8, before this, James chapter 1 says to ask for wisdom. Okay, if you're going to ask for wisdom, ask for God because God has the wisdom. He can give it to you because he's stable, he's awesome, he's a foundation, he never changes. And so, he goes back into this. He says, but let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. Can you just see it in a boat? Back and forth. There's no rudder, there's no direction, there's no, you're not going anywhere. You're just all over the place. For that person must not suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Okay, let's just put this in a real situation. God, I have this problem that I'm going to face today, and I'm going to have to talk to this person. God, give me wisdom. You go into the conversation, you forget God totally. You forget what God has told you to be loving, forget that you're supposed to be peaceful to people, that you're supposed to be caring and respectful, and you're supposed to, show the love of Christ, and you totally forget it. You're like, nope, not doing that. Now, what do you think God's going to look at that? He's going, what did you just do? You asked me for wisdom, and yet you went your own way. Okay, you get nothing. You're not even going to get the wisdom.
You get nothing.
That's right. Like
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka. You get nothing. But you go into the conversation, and you have faith that God is going to give you the words, give you the wisdom, give you the understanding, give you the love and the patience, and you do it. What do you gain? You either gain the respect of the person you're talking to, you either gain that person back to the Lord or maybe understand you a little bit better, or you gain a friend from an enemy. Mm-hmm. But if you go in there doubting, if you go in there like, oh no, God's not going to do this, God's not going to do that, well, you're not going to get it anyway. That's like going into a soccer game or a football game and you said, oh, we're going to lose. You already lost. You lost the game already. Because in your mind, you've already doubted that you could even beat the other team. So here's James just throwing it out there. I mean, he just hits you right in between the eyes. If you're going to ask for wisdom, do it in faith and trust God. Don't doubt. Like this boat or this car that you go,
It's
have
like
faith.
that new concept that they talk about, growth mindset.
Growth mindset is right in the Bible.
Exactly.
My encouragement for today is don't doubt. Always trust that God will give you the wisdom and the words to say. I love you. Jesus loves you too. You have a great Thursday. Goodbye.